So recently, I've had some updates, um, some emails that told me there was updates to Ancestry, um, that I had new hints. Um, haven't been on here in quite some time, so I decided, hey, let's do a video. Let's see what it's all about. Nothing's changed as far as their DNA thing, as far as their pie chart. Um, so, and how would you? I know this pie chart is a bunch of garbage, and the reason I know is because there was that whole thing after like 3 years went by. They gave an update. Do you agree that you are this and that you aren't this? But they won't let you select from regions that you can now prove based upon your genealogy that your family members were from. And I'll show one of our grandfathers on our our grandmother on our dad's side. Her father's bloodline, they came from Jamaica to the Carolinas, and we're still trying to trace that and figure out how did he end up in Jamaica? How did his family end up there? He had an English name. You know, we found through the University of Florida that he changed his name to this different name before he came to the Americas. And so we're like, okay, why doesn't this show up that her bloodline you know is from Jamaica, or at least goes to that points to that. Um, what was the other thing? Oh, our dad's side, um, our dad, his father's bloodline goes back to the Choctaws. Now, and this is what's weird, right? This is where I do know that there's something to them giving you all these third and fourth cousins, because it was through the cousins that I was able to confirm that I was related to my dad. And I say that because I'm adopted. There's always been this shroud of in question, am I his son? And because there was no DNA done to confirm, that I was his. So it was basically, oh, you look like him, you might be his. But it was through the cousins section here that when I was reaching out to some of the cousins and writing them that it says that I was related to, they were able to relate it all the way back to my dad's side of the family, back to one of his aunts, I believe it was. So I do know that does work. My sister and I went over that, and our cousins have gone over that. So I've been able to reach out now. I've got cousins on my dad's side of the family that, I'm in contact with, and that's led us to even more family members. We found out we had like this uncle that lives in, I believe it was what was it, Kansas? No, yeah, Kansas. And and this guy's explaining. He's like, no, your family is spread out from the South to California to Chicago. We all have these family reunions where we get together in Chicago. So last 2 years we weren't able to make it because of the whole COVID, thing. But I've reached out to him because I want to go. He's expressed that a lot of our family members that go to these things are the elderly. So we're like, we want to go meet them, of course, but also get as much information, before something happens to them, and that information is then lost. So, but like I said, I know that the cousin side, there is a connection to that. This other stuff that you're Nigerian, you're Mali, that's the stuff that I'm like, I don't put any weight in that they're telling the truth about that. So let's see here. So this is my mother's side. My mother's side's been the tricky one because a lot of family shame has caused them to uh, create secrets, and those secrets they don't want to answer for. So they don't want to help out and answer the questions that we have. We, meaning my big sister and I, is just as far as us understanding her bloodline and where she comes from, our grandmothers on her side, and her her grandfather, and where they came from, and stuff like that. It's been the slow paced side, to be honest, just because it's shrouded so much, and nobody wants to answer for or answer us when it comes to just, hey, legit, where does mom come from? All right, where does grandmother come from on mom's side? You know, let's see if I can zoom in here. We have Grady, Jesse James Edwards, and let's see here. This was one where I believe, yeah, that was about as far as we could go, and we haven't been able to confirm their parents and find out where that leads us to. But it's just been hard because of the secrets that are kept, you know. Oh, come on. And here's my dad's side. Now this side is the fun side because there was more. I say fun side, but yeah, I'm just saying it's fun for us because of exploring. There was more participation from families, and grandma is still alive, so we've gone to her. My sister's gone to her. I say we. She's the one that goes to her, and she's been able to ask her a lot of questions and confirm, or that we're on the right path, or tell us no. I've never heard of this person before, so we go back to the drawing board and try to get it right there. Let's see. And here she is. She got some hints too. Let's see. But I want her side. I want her side of the tree. There it is. Look at that. All those Leggett's, Oliver's. Look at that. All those Leggett's. Ah. Man, they got a bunch of hints. Where I don't want to go to the pews though. That's what I want to go to, because pews. That's where it's gonna lead us. That's where we're excited because it took us so far back. Sally Pugh. Yep. Yeah. There it is. There it is. Pews. Francis Pugh. This was the guy. This is the guy he came from Jamaica. Now here's the thing, when I couldn't find anything about this guy for the longest time, and I remember that the University of Florida has records of instances. So I searched on there for Francis Pugh, this spelling, right? And that's where I had found the way that this guy was from Jamaica. I forget the name of the town. Oh, there it is. Yeah, down there. Oh, so he was from Jamaica, and he had changed his name before leaving Jamaica for the Carolinas. He changed his name to from. I'm sorry. He changed his name from was it John Taylor to Francis Pugh. And I was like, that is something. How could a so-called black man, a so-called slave, change his name and head to the Americas? And nobody batted an eye. And yeah, so I was having fun with that. Let's see here. We got to talking to some of the family from the Carolinas, and they were explaining there's a grave. Well, how did my sister say there's a graveyard? There's a graveyard in the Carolinas where the Pews are buried, and the uppity rich side are buried on one side, and the poor Pews are buried on the other side, and they think that the poor's Pews were the slaves that they had. Well, it was just a thought, you know. I mean, so there we go. And let's see if we can go back. Yeah. So, so yeah, I gotta get on there and talk to my sister and start finding out, asking her questions about these hints, because there's a lot here. But this is dad's side. My phone wants to cooperate. Oh, come on. So yeah, there's our dad, his dad before him. Oh, we moved from Mississippi to Miami. And this is where we were. This is the side of the family where we were able to start figuring out. There it is, Sophia Cooper. That's the one that we found out. When I was doing the DNA, when I did the cousins, it was one of her uh, granddaughters, that said I was a third cousin to, and we started talking, and then she wanted to know, how was I related to the Coopers. And when I started giving out names, she started recognizing them. She's like, yeah, she's like, that's on our one of our uncles, and so on and so forth. And that's when it was like, bang. I was like, that's crazy. So the cousin side works. And I told his sister about it, because I was hesitant. I'm just that's just the way I was raised. I just don't trust people, a lot of the times. So I trust my big sister. She's always been there for me. So I reached out to her, and she was, so we had like a three-way talk, and she was able to start confirming stuff. And when she was doing her questioning, and that's when we found out, yeah, it was. So it linked us right back to, our dad's side of the family. So we're like, yeah, that the cousin section does work. So that's the other part that's a lie. So yeah, Sophie Cooper, but John Cooper is the son of Sam Cooper. There in the middle. Sam Cooper is the son of Israel Cooper. Now, here's the thing. Israel Cooper and Sam Cooper can both be found on the Oklahoma Choctaw website. You can find, which one was it? Oh, you can find them both on the Dawes Rolls from Mississippi too, though. This was the part, though, we haven't really gotten into. Our cousins on was the Sophia Cooper side. They're the ones that are still digging into it. I've looked at some of the stuff that they're about to show, but I couldn't confirm or deny it, and we couldn't find anybody that could confirm or deny it, because then it starts getting into Israel Cooper is the son of a chief, and it's like, that's everyone's claim to fame, right? I'm related to Chief so and so, and it's like, I'm not here for that, you know. So these are some of the new hints that though they have brought up. Oh, Israel Cooper. Let's see the details. We think we found one. No, I want to know if you found one or not. All right, so there you're on your 1790 U.S. federal census. Oh, they're gonna want me to pay for this. Watch. Yep, I cannot see this until I'm a member. And I am flat out broke. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Let's see here. Just one last. One last. Mm, yeah. That's not. No, I'm not. I can't. Here we are. These are the hints. I was telling you about Domingo. That was the name of a tribe from Ohio. I think that's interesting. That's the name of a tribe from Ohio. I seen an NFL player who had that name. I was reading the back of his jersey. I'm like, what is it, Domingo? So I looked it up, and yeah, it was tribe from Ohio that I guess doesn't exist anymore, which I thought was interesting. But and here he was, a melanated man with that name on the back. I'm like, I wonder if he's related to that tribe. But this is what I was talking about. There, this cat is supposed to be some sort of chief, yeah, war chief here. Yeah, I don't know. And it's supposed to be related to the Coopers, which I still doesn't answer my question. How did we ever come about having the last name Cooper? Which I, seeing where it comes from. But I'm not able to confirm or deny that we are related to this character, this person here, because it's never been brought up on our family's history. But he's the forefather to our forefather, going back 5 generations. Let's see, there should be someone there. I think it's interesting, right? They're allowed to get away with putting a painting in or someone's drawing in of this dude. You don't know you do not know that's what he looked like. And that can't fly as like a legit image of him. Let's see here. There should be a family here. There we go. Mary King. Yeah, that's so that's what? Israel Cooper's was it mother? I believe it's his mother, Mary King. Because I believe he's with the Sioux King. So, but yeah, but that stuff's not important. What I want to know is, go back to the family tree here. Let's see here. Let's see, matches. I want to know if your name is in here. If you are, I want to reach out, and because I have questions. Some of these people have written, and I still haven't heard any answers from. Just trying to expand, just trying to understand. Really, just want to know more about my mother's side of the family, and get around their secrets that they have that they just don't want to tell us about. Because her side of the tree is just like there's not much there, and it just doesn't feel right. That it just doesn't feel right that we don't know. So, like I said, I do know this cousin side does work though, and yeah, I think that's just about it. So.